wanna watch this Papa John. I wanna watch the Papa John. All right. The leaked phone call that destroyed Papa John's life. The N-word pizza. The infamous N-word pizza by Patrick CC. I don't think I've ever watched any of this guy's videos before, but this came out 6 months ago and has quite an amount of views. 1.6 million views. To be honest, I totally thought that guy was just a spokesperson. I had no idea he was actually Papa John. Yeah, the amount of people that don't know that this guy that is Papa John is insane.
Papa John Schnatter was once the trusted, smiling face of a multi-billion-dollar pizza empire, but one leaked phone call of him using a racial slur destroyed his company and reputation forever, and his response to the backlash could not have been worse, claiming that he spent nearly 2 years in a sort of racist rehab to stop himself from saying the slur.
And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months.
No shot he had to go to N-word rehab. Bro had to go to fucking Groyper rehab. Bro had to go to a rehabilitation center where they had to sit in front of him all day and were like, don't say the N-word. N-word bad. Don't say the N-word. N-word bad. That's insane. That's insane. They got N-word rehabs.
To get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary.
Crazy. There are even a small number of OG Papa John's fans who think he is innocent and are campaigning to reinstate him as CEO. One thing everyone agrees on is that the pizza quality was much better when he was still in charge, because today they have seemingly abandoned their promise to make better pizza with better ingredients.
Let's be honest, it was never very good. Papa John's pizza was never very good. I don't remember it before the N-word incident. I don't remember John's pizza being all that spectacular. I'm not gonna lie.
John proved his entrepreneurial skills when he saved his father's business from going bankrupt. Mick's Lounge in Jeffersonville, Indiana was a local tavern that was desperately in need of a new business strategy in the early 80s, so John took over.
We cleaned the pool tables up, we cleaned the food up, we put handsome bartenders behind the bar. We had a
That's the trick to turning around. You had a failing bar, bro. You got to get some hot ass dudes behind the bar. John. Okay, maybe John is on to something, bro. Maybe Papa John is on to something. He was like, I put handsome dudes behind the bar. I picked them myself, hand-picked them, went through Instagram, was like, that dude's hot, that dude's hot, that dude's hot. Hand-picked them, hand-selected handsome bartenders.
And within 3 months, we were doing $10,000 a week and doing $1,000 a week in pool table revenue.
And while John has said that fixing the bar was...
Dude, $1,000 a week in pool table revenue, brother? That's insane. First of all, you're charging people to play pool? That's outrageous. I can go and play for free. Sometimes I've been to a bar before and not paid for shit and just played pool.
John's real obsession was pizza. He fell in love with it while working as a dishwasher at a local restaurant called Rocky's Sub Pub.
You seeing this right now? Look at that. He kind of kept that shit on. I'm not going to lie. He kind of looks like the guy from Stranger Things, got older. What's that? Yeah, dude, he actually looks really, really, really like this. That kid with the curly hair from Stranger Things. He looks like that kid got older, but didn't upsize his clothes. He just kept wearing the same clothes as he got older. So the clothes got tighter fitting.
John was a 21-year-old dreamer who was willing to work until he could no longer stand. He was always thinking of ways
Why was he kind of jacked, though? Look at him. Look at his biceps and, his chest, bro. Why was dude kind of yoked? Look at the stance. I mean, I understand why he got successful. Dude just exudes aura.
He studied a local bakery to learn how to get his crust perfect. And he was even an employee at Domino's to learn how to optimize the process from orders.
No way! Papa John was an op at the Domino's? No way! He was an op there to study their ways and to get the information to sneak in and to extract information into the Papa John's business. Obviously, he didn't do it too well because the pizza still was shit and Domino's is clearly better.
The concept of sitting on the couch, eating Doritos, watching TV, or drinking beer or Cokes, what a waste of life.
Maybe the big 3 pizza franchises doubted that Papa John's could be...
That doesn't sound... Honestly, that sounds pretty fucking great. Honestly. Sitting on the couch, eating some fucking Ritos, maybe ripping some fat ones, fucking... fucking... Sounds like a good time, Papa John. I'm not gonna lie. Especially, I don't think there's anything wrong with fucking working your whole life and then retiring and then want to sit back and want to chill for the rest of it.
Papa John's became a publicly traded company, and after their IPO, they generated $25 million in investment capital, which was plenty of money to open thousands of locations across the United States. This is where the real takeover began. Unlike competitors who used mascots or attractive logos to promote the brand, John made himself the official spokesperson of Papa John's. He came off as humble, hardworking, and honest.
He commissioned independent taste tests. Papa John's won big time. Maybe that's because our sauce is made with fresh-packed, vine-ripened tomatoes.
How do you really have better ingredients that make better pizza?
I think you say it this way: better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Another good question.
Doesn't answer the question.
You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. The reason our ingredients are better is because they cost more. And the reason they cost more is because they're real.
Well, it is true that none of the ingredients used were frozen, and every single pizza was made practically from scratch. Employees do everything in the store besides making the dough. The dough was hand-stretched and formed for each order. None of the produce or chicken products on a Papa John's pizza is older than 7 days in the store, all of which is kept in a 36-degree cooler. Pork and beef products spend no more than 12 days in the same cooler. So yes, you could call the pizza fresh, but that still doesn't exactly clarify the quality of the ingredients. But Papa John's strategically keeps that a secret. Melanie Warner of US News tried to investigate what makes their ingredients better. When I called Papa John's customer toll-free number, I was told that for additional information on allergen or nutritional info, I should leave a message with Connie Childs. Ironically, most people seem to agree that it isn't actually the pizza that got Papa John's famous. It's their garlic sauce that you dip the crust into.
It's the fucking sauce! It's the fucking sauce! That's what I've been missing out on, apparently. I've not been getting the fucking pizza Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza, special garlic dipping sauce. That's why I've been fucking up. It's not the pizza that you go to Papa John's for. It's the fucking garlic sauce, bro. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. If your pizza needs a sauce, brother, get it out of here. Get out. If your pizza can't stand alone, get it out of here. I'm not against putting some sauce on some pizza, but if your pizza needs sauce, it's not good pizza, dog.
And even though John portrayed himself as the humble hard worker, there is no doubt he was enjoying his hundreds of millions. Schnatter moved the corporate office into a luxurious...
That Papa John's looks like a fucking... Well, it looks like the front of a college university. This looks like an official government-ass building, and it says Papa John's on it. If you just put this picture in front of me, I would think maybe it's photoshopped. It just says Papa John's.
He purchased a massive piece of land and built a castle on the outskirts of Louisville, complete with what literally looks like a city built underground.
So right now we're 1 story below ground level, and what you could see here, it looks like a little city.
This is insane.
With the windows.
After profits dropped 3 years in a row, the board decided it was time for John to step down. In 2005, they replaced him with Nigel Travis, former COO of Blockbuster.
Why the fuck would you... How does that make any fucking sense? You replaced the pizza guy with the Blockbuster guy? That business also failed?
As the head of Papa John's, and Schnatter stepped back into the CEO position almost immediately. Interestingly enough, in the press release announcing Nigel's departure, they wrote, "We are pleased that John has once again agreed to lead the company, albeit on an interim basis, until we can identify a permanent replacement." He remained the spokesperson of the company, appearing in TV commercials, advertising stunts like completing the world's highest pizza delivery in history at the top
World's
of the Sears
highest? Bro, how high was he, bro? Bro's not getting more baked than me, I promise you that.
You say John! Papa John! Papa John!
It was only a matter of time before we would find out why the leadership wanted him to step down years ago. That moment came in 2012 when John Schnatter criticized the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. He claimed that if the law went into effect, Papa John's would be forced to raise the price of their pizza by 11 to 14 cents per pie just to cover employees' health care. On an earnings call with shareholders, John said, "We're not supportive of Obamacare, like most businesses in our industry. If Obamacare is in fact not repealed repealed, we will find tactics to shallow out any Obamacare costs and core strategies to pass that cost on to consumers in order to protect our shareholders' best interests.
I mean, what can you say, man? Classic CEO doesn't want the best for the consumer, wants to do what's best for the shareholders. I mean, he's got to the point where he's made his money. He doesn't need to he doesn't need to uphold like this fucking, oh, I fucking love making the pizza image. He's rich. He likes his money, and the Obamacare is going to make his bottom dollar suffer, and he don't like that.
Papa John Schnatter felt that politics were messing up his profits. And on yet another earnings call, John blamed the NFL's handling of the protests for Papa John's stock price falling around 10.
Yes, Papa John. Papa John, yes, genius reasoning. Blame the NFL Colin Kaepernick protests for why no one wants to buy your pizza. That's why, not maybe because it tastes like shit and you've been openly against Obamacare. That couldn't be a reason.
10% in 2017. It's important to know that Papa John's had become the official pizza sponsor of the NFL in 2010, a partnership that heavily benefited them from the league's massive national visibility. Papa John's secured national broadcast and marketing rights, and many of their stadiums sold their pizza. But to suggest that the NFL players' protests had any effect on Papa John's pizza seemed like a bold and bizarre take. He said, NFL leadership has hurt Papa John's shareholders. This should have been nipped in the bud a year and a half ago. We're certainly disappointed that NFL and its leadership did not resolve the ongoing situation to the satisfaction of all parties this year and a half ago, he said in the earnings call. Good or bad, leadership starts at the top, and this is an example of poor leadership. Not only was John criticizing a powerful business partner in front of investors, but he also was aligning himself with a divisive political stance once again. His comments sparked backlash from multiple sides. As you can imagine, the backlash for John's comments came in full force. The controversy even led to white supremacist groups endorsing Papa John's as the official pizza of the...
This pizza right here, crazy pizza, not the swastika, swastika, crazy. The fucking swastika with the pepperonis on the pizza. The official pizza of the alt-right Papa John's was declared, I guess. That's crazy work.
Alt-right, a title the company quickly and publicly disavowed. A mutual agreement was met to terminate Papa John's as the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. They would be replaced with Pizza Hut. The company was going downhill fast. In order to get things under control, the board made an agreement that John could stay on as chairman and still be the face of the company under one condition. If he accepted coaching from a PR firm called Oslin & Gage, operating under the ad agency Laundry Service. Papa John's hired Laundry Service for a new advertisement strategy, and Laundry Service brought in their PR team, Oslin & Gage, to specifically coach Schnatter on how not to destroy the brand any further, and the goal was to train him in modern media etiquette and contain his public outbursts, and ultimately...
They gave Papa John woke training. They gave him woke training. They had to give him modern media literacy training. They had to basically they had to wokeify Papa John. They were like, Papa, the kids today, they don't like slurs. They don't like it when you're against Obamacare. They don't like it when you don't like that Colin Kaepernick sits down during the national anthem. The kids don't like that. You need to go to woke school. We need to wokeify you if you want to keep having engagement with the Papa John company. All right.
On July 11th, 2018, Forbes published a headline that spread like wildfire. Papa John's founder used N-word on conference call, and the clip of the conference call was released.
What bothers me is Colonel Sanders called blacks niggers. I'm like, I've never used that word. And they get away with it.
This was now the third leak.
What bothers me is Colonel Sanders called blacks N-words. I'm like, I have never used that word. They get away with it. Interesting interesting. So I mean, I guess guys, come on, let's cut him some slack. He was using it as like he said someone else said it. You know, he wasn't saying it. He was saying that someone else said it. It was Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, the real racist here, guys. Why are we not talking about Colonel Sanders more?
His suggestion that Colonel Sanders used to say the slur came off as deflective to his own offensive behavior. Sanders' grandson, Trig Adams, responded to John's comments saying, "He's a weasel. Because he's prejudiced, he's trying to say somebody else was too." Sanders had absolutely no prejudice against anybody. There were a few people that initially tried to defend John, saying that his use of the word was actually him calling out
This is literally the meme argument I just made. This comment. I'm not sure why he was fired. He was referencing the fact that someone else used that language. There's nothing wrong with freedom of speech, which is essentially what he got fired for. If anything, people should probably stop eating at KFC because the guy who owned it was openly racist. Guys, he was referencing something. He didn't say it's not that big a deal.
Him claiming that he never used the N-word in the same breath that he just let the slur roll off his tongue seemed delusional. He absolutely lost his mind when he started publicly claiming that he was set up and that the day of reckoning will come, as he was now on a campaign to destroy the company he built for 30 years.
I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
How soon will that happen?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Really sad. He looks like he's on the verge of a mental breakdown and a path to insanity, all because of a pizza. The general public just laughed him off. Even animators like Meat Canyon couldn't help but spend hours recreating a painful interview.
The day will come. Judgment will be made. You will scream, but they will fall upon you.
Dude, these are fucking hilarious.
Will be the cornerstone of this utopian future. I will cover the world with my passion.
John didn't realize how stupid he looked that he was claiming to be set up and falsely painted as a racist, and in the same breath saying that he had to spend 20 months removing a racial slur from his vocabulary. The ironic part about all of this is that the controversy started with Papa John's executives forcing him to do PR training, and every time he spoke to the media, it was clear that he still desperately needed more PR training.
And then to Steve's point, I said, we got to find, 8 or 9 leaders in the country that are level-headed and not going to fly off, that will sit down with the players and get them what they want. At the same time, not, destroy the league, destroy the players' future income, destroy sponsors, destroy the fan base, etc.
He just is not sorry. Like, that's also like one of his biggest issues is like, he's just not sorry. Like, he just believes he's right. Like, he believes that Colin Kaepernick shouldn't have sat down during the national anthem. Like, he thinks that he's correct in that opinion. Like, he thinks that, people shouldn't be out and protesting and there shouldn't be BLM protests. People shouldn't be going around saying Black Lives Matter. He just obviously, like, this whole like fake manufactured press tour thing, like, wasn't ever going to pan out anyways, just from how he's kind of conducting himself. Like, he's like talking in circles with the PR team that's trying to coach him to say the right things. Honestly, I think they should just be like, here's your lines, just say this. Just say this. I don't care if you believe it or not, just say this. I think we're at that point.
So you might, I like to see, that's the truth of it. Lose, win came up, and the whole time I was trying to get this matter resolved. So you might run with that one, because that is the way I talk. Yeah, because you're trying to provide a platform that has solutions for the players, solutions for the owners, and solutions for all the partners that are associated with the league. And that's what the NFL had created for years, and they had an interesting issue here. And what you want to do is try to help for all folks that have different issues that they're trying to solve for. And it was a problem that could be solved that unfortunately the leadership was not there. And as a leader of my own company, I want to try to help another leader solve the problem. I think everybody took notes, so why don't y'all compare notes, and then let's get through the next day or two and get it to where I'm comfortable talking to, he's going to ask a tough question. He's going to go, how do you feel about kneeling? And, we got to find a good way of saying, well, I understand what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure that's helping anybody's cause.
Now, the PR firm, which we would ultimately find out, just straight up thought he was wrong. Question.
Bro, why does he think, like, at the end of the day, he's a fucking pizza company CEO? Why is he pretending like Papa John's is like, the NFL is hinging on Papa John's, bro. The NFL is hinging on Papa John's. Papa John's buckles, the NFL, all of it falls apart. Why is he acting like this? Like, fucking, like, he's like, oh, Papa John's is the NFL pizza, bro. You know, these people, they're not, the politics of it all is hurting Papa John's, it's hurting the NFL. Like, we need to get this together. And like, dude, you are fucking, they'll just go with some other pizza. They already did. They chose Pizza Hut. Like, no one gives a fuck anymore. Like, move on. You know, Colonel Sanders used to call black people N-words. And I've never said that word. Literally just said that word. Even if it was your first time, welcome to the club, buddy. You just said it. You're a part of the N-word club now. How does it feel? You said the word. Like, Jesus Christ.
I hope he gets fine. I really. Yeah, I mean, that's already all been revealed to me. Yeah. So I just wanted to go out and talk.
Yeah. Because you can't take even the most, like, simple, like, just acknowledge the fact, like, we find some sympathy for it, why they're doing this protest, like, he wouldn't even pick up on that. Yeah.
But you can't just say that.
Did he actually say N-word?
I missed that as well.
Literally just the Colonel Sanders said that.
He said he called him N-word and he's fine.
No one has said to him, dude, are you really not getting it? You are out of touch. Everyone, including us, are pandering a little bit to the man.
They straight up felt that John was wrong, that he could not accept it, and that he was a racist. And now actually, instead of helping him, they planned on setting up interviews where he would be asked really tough questions, hoping he would speak exactly like he did on the private phone call to expose himself to the world that he is a racist. But they actually just sped up the process. They didn't schedule any interviews and instead leaked the audio of him saying the N-word to the press out of resentment. And John tried as hard as he could to express to the public that he wishes he didn't say the actual word, but rather the phrase that represents the slur.
The context was...
Yes, the media expose seems to have been set up by the laundry service PR firm and Forbes. However, John was not pressured or manipulated into saying anything racist. That was his own volition. He expressed his true feelings about the NFL protests ad nauseum, and he chose to just randomly say a racial slur, unprovoked, and pass it off as criticism of a dead guy. And even 6 years after he has been removed from any and all operations from the company, sold off a lot of his stock, he's still doing podcasts and interviews today being extremely critical of the Papa John's brand, claiming that the quality of the Papa John's pizza has gone significantly downhill since he left the company.
If I'd have been CEO and these would have come, this would have been a huge...
That pizza does look like ass. Look how all the toppings are just kind of like, look, they're like in the creases. They're like all like cuddled together. I mean, he right though. Papa John, yeah, like he did some fuck shit, but he do be speaking facts. Look at all that, like all the fields of cheese, of just cheese and no toppings, and all the toppings just bunched up. And then all the toppings fall off, and it's like, what's the point of the toppings at that point? It's like he do be speaking facts on that.
Disappointment. These would have been sub-7 pizzas. Today, they're probably what I've seen of Papa John's the last 16 months, these are actually some of the better ones I've seen. But again, you're not going to be able to differentiate between a Pizza Hut and a Papa John's. But let's see what the other two players come in. That's another thing I think they've done. I think they've changed them.
Then again, it's easy to see why he would be resentful when the business he dedicated 35 years of.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, listen, bro. I mean, Papa John, he fucked up. He fucked up. He did some things that maybe he regrets, maybe he doesn't regret. He has some he has some pretty yikes views. I understand though why after getting booted out of the company that you started when you were literally like 21 years old and you built it up from like nothing. I understand after getting kicked out of that and want to be vindictive and spend the rest of your life being vengeful. Definitely get that too. I mean, how can you? It's hard to not at that point, right? I mean, you're literally being kicked out of the company you started when you started your life. I mean, when you're 21 years old, you're basically you're out of college, you're starting your real adult life, and you have so much more to live after that. I mean, it was his baby, but like, dude, maybe you shouldn't have said the N-word. I don't know.